Hi guys, it's Denim here again, back for another trick tip. So, I thought today we'd have a go at kickflips. Now, kickflips are like a dream trick, particularly when you're starting out, and they're the key to a lot of other tricks, tray flips, varial flips, things like that. So, it's one that you'll see quite a lot, but they're quite hard to get down at first. Here's a few tips on them, let's see if we can get you through them. Now, you want to be able to do ollies pretty comfortably at this point because you're going to need a good bit of pop in that back foot. What we're going to do though is the board's going to flip over like a barrel roll rather than just popping straight. So we need to think about our front foot and what's going to happen there. Here's a couple of kick flips for you to have a look at and then we'll get started. Cool, so as we said, we want to be able to have a really good pop on the tail, right? If you've learned ollies, that's spot on, you'll have enough pop there. You need to be able to get a bit of height for this one. The board's got quite a lot to do underneath you, so you want to be popping it fairly high just to give it time to flip underneath, okay? So make sure you've got your ollies, make sure you've got that pop really nice and strong as well. Now I'm going to show you the foot position for this as well. Now there's a lot of different ways to position your feet. This is just what works for me. You might need to tweak it around a little bit and maybe move that front foot, but this is what my foot position looks like when I'm doing kick flips, okay. Right, so as we can see here, the back foot's in pretty much the same place as it would be for an ollie, so we're nice and light on our toes. That front foot is pointing at about 45 degrees towards the nose, ready to flick off the front of the board and kick down using my toes a little bit. Okay, so that's, like I say, that's my foot position. You might want to change it around a bit to help you out if you struggle with that. So, similar to an ollie, we want to get the pop first, a really good stomp on the tail. So that's going to help bring the board up for us. Now, rather than scrape the front foot upwards, like we were doing for an ollie and up the board, we're going to kick this front foot outwards to this side, so that's going to cause the board to flip over, okay? So with that front foot, we want to be kicking the board out the top corner of the deck. So we're going to be kicking, rather than straight up towards the nose, we're going to be kicking out this way a little bit, okay? You want to kick down a little bit as well to make it flip. Now you don't want to boot it super hard. If you boot it too hard, it'll spin out of control. You can sometimes overflip a bit. It just wants to be a good kick to be able to spin the board over. Alright, remember the more pop you've got on this, then the more time your board has to flip underneath, so you don't have to worry as much about the flip. If you've only got a small pop, you're going to want to flip the board pretty fast, okay? So here's where we need to be kicking our front foot out. So hopefully that makes a bit more sense now as to where we need to kick this front foot. What you're going to have to remember is that you're going to have to get a bit of height on this as well. So as soon as you've popped and kicked the front foot out, do it in a similar sort of timing as you would do for your ollie. As soon as you've kicked that front foot out, you want to bring your knees up because you're going to have to let the board spin underneath you. Otherwise it's probably going to clatter your shins a little bit, but also it's not going to have, the board ain't going to have the time to spin underneath for you to land back on. As always, you're just looking out for your bolts on your landing, okay? There's a couple of other things that can go wrong with kick flips as well. You can under rotate, which is where you don't flip enough, or sometimes you can land with feet both sides of the board a little bit like this. So what's happening there, the reason we're landing with both feet either side is that we're turning our body a bit, and that's going to cause our feet to land either side of the board. So just like with your ollie, you want to try and keep your shoulders pretty lined up with your feet so that when the board flips, your feet are in the right place to land it, okay? If you do your kick flip and then twist your shoulders, you'll be landing with your feet either side of the board. Remember, you've got to get a good pop and bring your knees up, let the board flip underneath you, okay? Try and think of it less like a really strong boot down in the front foot, just a good flick with the front foot, just to get the board spinning, okay? So remember when you were learning pop shove-its and you were learning ollies as well, remember you've got to kind of jump with the board a bit, depending on which direction it's travelling in. So because, again, we're kicking the front foot forwards a little bit, be prepared for the board to go in front of you towards your front foot a little bit. So make sure you jump with it as well. Otherwise you'll land with one foot on and one foot off, a little bit like this. So like I said, kickflips are quite tricky to learn. It might take you a little while, but you've got to really persevere with these ones. Remember, it's a good pop in the back foot, a good flick off with the front foot, pulling those knees up and spotting those bolts for your landing. Keep your shoulders straight, you should be all good. Have a go at them. If you have any questions, feel free to drop us a message on the Facebook or the Instagram page and we'll try and help you out. Keep going with them, they're tricky but you'll get them. Cheers guys, see you later.